This is a video showing my model railway that's mounted on the ceiling. I think the first obstacle was to convince the good lady wife to actually put it there. As you can see, it's about 8 inches down from the original ceiling. The winch is mounted on the wall, and I'm not sure if you can see, but there is one large cable going to the winch, and then up at the top there is 4 cables. There is actually a joiner in the middle of the down bit, so that all 4 cables then all go up at the same time. As you can see on the ceiling, the 4 cables going across, they're not really noticeable unless you're doing what I'm doing now and actually looking up at them. At the very top there are some wheels that the cables go round, mounted in the joists with 2.5 inch coach bolts, and then covered with a protective aluminium guard, if you like, as an added protection. On the end of the railway there are 2 pegs each end. This is a safety feature. They are like dowels that go into a 2x2 piece of wood mounted on the ceiling. When I need to lower the railway, these pegs are removed, but are in, as I say, as a safety precaution, so that the railway is not hanging on the cables all the time. When the railway is loaded, it comes and sits on 4 of these trestles. These are just cheap plastic trestles got from the local DIY store some time ago. I think they were about £19 for a pair, and I've got 4 of them. The railway is now lowered, and I'm now showing the cable wheel that comes down to the layout. As you can see, it's covered by a protective shield for safety, and you can see where the cables come out and go down. When I come down the railway, you can see it's mounted on blocks, and there are it's adjustable, and there's 2 locking nuts on the other side. Here is the 2x2 that's mounted on the ceiling, where the pegs actually plug into. The railway itself, as you can see, it's quite a big layout. It's about 9 feet by about 6 feet. I'm using the Hornby Elite, and not sure if you can notice here that it's actually lifts up. So that lifts up. Otherwise, when the railway was up, it would catch on the ceiling. I'm using the Elite controller, which I find reasonably good. I did at one time try the Railmaster software, but there was a major problem, and Hornby was notified about it, but they just didn't want to know. The problem was, on the Elite, you have two arrows, left arrow and right arrow. Now some people say forward and reverse, but that's totally irrelevant, because if you have a diesel loco, what is forward and reverse? So all I'm saying is you had a left and right arrow. When this was connected to the Railmaster software, when the software was selected to the right arrow, it would show the left arrow on the Elite, and vice versa. When you selected the left arrow on the Railmaster, the right arrow on the Elite would say. So the two would never synchronise, and Hornby just didn't want to know. And I was at an exhibition, railway exhibition one day, and saw the Hornby representative, and all he could say was, and I quote, "You don't have to look at the Elite when you're using the Railmaster software," unquote. Now what kind of nonsense is that? I mean, it's irrelevant whether you look at it or not. The two should read the same. So I gave up and I binned the Railmaster software, never to use it again. It was a complete waste of time. This is the power unit that I built myself. It gives like 16 volts regulated for the Elite and 20 volts for the points and accessories, etc. I have built a few electronic things. I'm now showing the level crossing flashing lights, which I constructed, and I'm not sure if you can actually see as I'm walking round the railway. If I zoom in underneath, you can see just about make out some circuitry under there. So that's about it for this video, I think. I hope that I've given you a bit of an insight. The control panel there that I built myself, it's got LEDs showing you what points are selected. I've been using the normal Hornby point switches. There are other methods, but I already had those, so I decided to use them. And that's it for this video. I hope that you will get some ideas from this, and bye for now.